Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video where today Place Your Wagers has sent us in a very unique challenge, the Copycat challenge, where he is not running one specific team. He is running every team that he sees and that he goes up against. This is an exciting, fun little challenge. Let's see how he does and if he's able to climb Elo while simply copying his opponent's team. Sometimes opponents might have really good teams. Sometimes their teams might not make much sense. And he's starting off the bat with a Ferrothorn double fire team. So just a hard ABB type line. And we see the Skeledirge swap met by a Shadow Whiscash. This is not good at all for Skeledirge, especially since because of the shadow damage, you can probably just Mud Bomb here if you're Whiscash. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They Mud Bomb next Mudshot KOs. But you come in right away with the Pharaoh. Notice how he didn't wait. He came in right away because he wants to get rid of this Whiscash as soon as possible. And he's going to hope that this was the hard answer to the Talonflame. And Talonflame will be able to sweep in the back up a shield. That's what Talonflame is typically really good at doing. Ferrothorn going to knock out Cash, tapping that right away to swap. What's going to be in the back? Oh man, they're staying. They're throwing an Ice Punch here. They might not have an obvious answer. Ice Punch connects. What's in back? It's a Wigglytuff. It's a Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is going to struggle here against Talonflame. Resisted charm damage. Uh-oh. Flame Charge connects. Going to go for the Flame Charge right away. I like this play. You either get the final shield or you force them to let their Wigglytuff go. They kind of have to shield here to do more charm damage. Oh, man. Not going to get to another move, unfortunately. But the opponent recognizes Ferrothorn up 2 shields is going to be able to beat the Alolan Sandslash. So, here we go. Shadow Sandslash, Shadow Whiscash, and Wigglytuff. We see the Azumarill swap and going to greet it with the Wiggly. I wouldn't have hated to see him go in with Shadow Cash here because both of his back Pokemon do so well against the Altaria. That switch doesn't seem to matter too much here, but this makes sense as well. And he might be thinking based off the team comp of the opponent that Whiscash will have a lot of play in the back. Ice Beam connects. Gonna go for the Disarming Voice. I like this play because if it connects, which it very well may, you're not gonna have to commit another shield. They actually shield their Azu. Interesting. Now, if you are Place Your Wagers, I think you have to shield. And hopefully you get the Charm down and can get off a move against the Altaria. That'd be best case. Actually throwing the Icy. I don't know if this was necessary, but maybe it was. Icy connects. Doesn't quite knock out. Next Charm knocks out. Altaria comes in. Gonna go for the Charm down here. Bold play, but kind of smart. Comes in with Slash. And uh-oh, there's a Median back. This does not look great, but it's not over yet. Because if you can get fortunate with some Scald debuffs here and maybe take out the Medi with your Slash. Oh, but doesn't get a debuff. That's rough. That is rough. Let's see if they're running Dynamic Punch. They're running Pup. Interesting. They're running Pup. And did they just Pup back-to-back, or is that a harder hitting move? That looked like Charge Attack Priority. Scald. No debuff. Very unlucky. Needs to somehow get to a... Yikes, now this is over. Or is it? Unless... I guess Altaria doesn't have that much energy, but I feel like Altaria gets to Sky Attack here. And then is the Sky Attack enough, plus the Dragon Breaths? Oh man, this is so close. I think you live. I think you live Sky Attack. Oh my gosh, Sandslash tanks it no problem. I thought that was over, but Sandslash had other plans. And that is a G to the G. I guess the opponent had to catch the Drill Run on their Altaria to get the win, but obviously that's a tough catch because you're not sure if they're going to throw right away or not. So G to the G, and now copies the opponent's team. Altaria Azumedi is next on the list. How many wins can he rack up consecutively? This must be consecutively, right? If they're Copycat challenge, I mean, they have to be in a row. Sky Attack coming through. Gonna swap into Medi here. And we saw the opponent was actually running Pup Psychic. He's like, nah, I ain't doing that. He's running the more standard moveset for Medi. Goes for the Ice Punch here. Unfortunately, this won't be enough to knock out if it connects. So Charge Bug doesn't really need to shield this. They let it go. They're going to get off another move, but Medi should be able to farm down. Going to actually shield to preserve some health on the Medi. Might be recognizing that Charge Bug staying in here means they don't have a great answer to the Medicham in the back. And there is a Scarm. Okay, this is where Dynamic Punch is really nice to have. Gonna do some heavy hitting neutral damage here. Dynamic Punch. Taking out a big chunk of health. I think could have reached the Dynamic there, so maybe would have been better off committing to the Dynamic Punch. But gets some solid damage off. In comes Azu. Gonna let this move go through, and it is a Brave Bird, so that's gonna hurt. But this is terrific for Altaria. Gonna need at least 2 Scalds to knock out here if you're the Whiscash. Let's see how much the first one does. Not quite half the remaining health, but pretty close to it, where Mud Shots might be enough after the next Scald. Sky Attack comes through, draws the final Protect Shield from the opponent. Whiscash over-farming a little bit, gonna go for another Scald. Will this be enough to knock out the Altaria, or will it hang on? It is gonna knock out, but Azu is up a shield here and should be in a pretty good spot. Azu running Play Rough Hydro Pump, it appears. I think you just need Play Rough at this point. They do still have the catch opportunity on their Skarmory, so you just got to be a little bit careful here to not allow that catch to happen. Mud Bomb gets shielded, waits a turn, and going to throw the Hydro Pump for authority. Boom, making a statement. And Azu's going to wash away the competition and get the win. Here we go. Copycat challenge continues. Whiscash into Skeledirge. Terrific lead. They swap Annihilate. A little bit slow on the swap. So Annihilate will be able to threaten with a Shadow Ball here. I think... Oh, this is risky. Because now if Annihilate flips Switch, that Skeledirge aligned with your Skarm could be pretty rough. So let's see. Gonna have to shield here, right? To get off this discharge. So if you're the opponent, in my opinion, you simply just shield counter down. And you're in a good spot. But let's see if the opponent recognizes that. They do. So what do you do here? Do you kind of just sack Skarm? Yeah. Well, I guess shields down. Here's the thing, is Skeledirge does not want to eat a Brave Bird. So sometimes even if you lose Switch, getting shields down can be really good. Gonna get the full farm down here. Really nice. Gonna go for the Brave Bird, do some big damage. This Incinerate will hurt. But then you swap into Cash. They swap. It is a Cress. If he can get a Scald debuff here, I think that's big. Also, Skarm is going to be able to come out with energy. Do you live maybe the Grass Knot after that Scald debuff? I'm not sure. You do. Wow. You do. And with enough health where I'm not sure Crest can even Psycho Cut down. This is actually looking really good. Because now after these debuffs, you just need to make sure that you come out with a move. So I think Skarm can simply just farm all the way down here. This is a double debuffed Cresselia. There's no need to throw any energy here. Unless you get to double. Once you get to double, you might as well just throw. Moonblast connects. Doesn't even do half the remaining health. Oh, that was a little sketchy. That was a little sketchy. Yikes. Gets off the Sky Attack. Is so low now. Doesn't get there. That's tough. I think just reacted a little bit too slowly, right? I think just reacted a little bit too slowly. If we do an instant replay, Moonblast connects. As soon as you see the swap, just needed to click that Sky Attack one turn earlier. But nice little play by the opponent. And I'm sure Place Your Wagers wishing he could have that one back. But G to the G. G to the G. Dirge this time into Slash. Dude, Copycat team is catching all the great leads. They swap into Lantern after eating an Incinerate. Oh, you know what? I wonder if they were trying to abuse the bug where sometimes the Incinerate like just gets lost in the void. I wonder if that's why they did that. Thunderbolt connects on I almost said Altaria, on Cresselia. Grass Knot going to grab a shield. Wow, opponent's going to try and flip this, which makes sense because, I mean, Skeledirge is so dominant against the Powder Snow A-Slash. They might try to flip this at all costs. So they might be able to be honest, because now they can go straight Surf as these sparks are adding up. And we'll see. It looks like, oh, they actually went for the Thunderbolt. Wow. They went for the Thunderbolt. But, you know, Dirge up shields is just so dangerous. And you have two answers. So Place Your Wagers wisely saying, you know, no matter where I see the Slash with my remaining Pokemon, I'm in a good spot. The opponent is just going to completely sacrifice their Sandslash. They're like, I don't need this thing. It's it's a liability for me in this matchup. The instant swap, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, I was wrong. And Skeledirge is just going to sweep here like an absolute beast of an alligator or crocodile. We still haven't come to a consensus. Or maybe you guys know and I'm the only one that doesn't know, but we talked about that in a recent video. Is it an alligator or a crocodile? I'm not sure. You guys probably know. Let me know in the comments what Skeledirge is. A-Slash into Trevenant, Trevor, Trayvon, the tree. We've got lots of names for Trev. Ice Punch grabs a shield. The opponent staying in signifies they're probably double weak to the Sandslash, so maybe double weak to Ice. Seed Bomb grabs a shield. They come in with Cash, and oh man, just a beautiful answer here. Trevenant is going to absolutely dominate Whiscash in this matchup. Takes a Scald, probably over farm much as you can, and a Seed Bomb might still knock out from this range. I'm not sure after the debuff. Does it still knock out? Not quite, but that's almost better in a sense, because you leave with more energy. Whiscash going to throw another Scald here, most likely. Scald does get the Trev quite low, so Whiscash able to fight back a little bit, but you reach the Shadow Ball. That is massive. This Trev has to shield, otherwise this Shadow Ball will KO, and boom, it does! What's in the back? It's a Registeel. Oh my gosh, it's an under-leveled Registeel. What the heck? Wait, hold your horses. Hold your horses. Was that a Rock Smash Registeel? That was a Rock Smash Registeel. Did you see that animation? What is going on? They brought the wrong Registeel, apparently. They brought the wrong Registeel. Luckily, by Place Your Wagers Copycat rules, I don't think he has to bring a Rock Smash Registeel. I think he can bring a real Registeel. I think he can bring his actual Registeel. Oh my gosh. I almost didn't catch that. Trev versus Sabe. Tough lead. Gonna pivot into Whiscash here. Sableye does have the option to throw Foul Play before Scald. So I think that's a smart play by the opponent here. Gonna shield, knowing that if they stay in, you can potentially debuff, and the next ones will do less. They then come in with Azu. And if you're Place Your Wagers, you got to think, since the switch timer is desynced, you may want to try and store some energy with Whiscash and maybe swap in Reggie when you can. Going for the Scald here, trying to get a debuff on the Azu, and unsuccessful. So that's unfortunate. That's the game you play with Whiscash. It's the bait game you play with, to debuff or to not debuff. That is the question. 3 woods emerged in a yellow road, for I took the road less traveled by. And that was all the difference. Did I butcher that? Was that like completely wrong? What is that? 3 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the road less traveled by. For that was all the distance. I'm blanking. I'm blanking on what that's from. But that's like a very famous poem, I believe, or passage from like a play or book. I don't know. Educate me in the comments. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up mid-battle here as Registeel's throwing the Zap Cannon at Sableye. Samuel Clement. 3 roads diverged in a yellow wood. The road not taken by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in yellow wood. And sorry, I could not travel both. Okay. Robert Frost, we figured it out. Sometimes I wonder, the generation before us, before there was like Google, and you could just look things up on the spot. You just like start wondering something like, how do I do this? Anyway, we're getting way off track here in the Copycat challenge. You can't trust Rise with this much spice, otherwise he just goes off the walls. Foul Play gets shielded by Trev. And there's a Toxapex in the back. Unfortunately, the bulk of Toxapex, I think, is going to be too much for Trevenant here, as a Sludge Wave should nearly knock out the Trev, and it's going to be able to tank a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball only does about half of the health of the Toxapex. Sludge Wave coming through, knocks out Trev, and that is a G to the G. Well played by the opponent. Next opponent here, Azumarill. Not a great lead for Sableye, but not the worst lead in the world. So, gonna stay. May try to catch a move at some point. And successfully catches the move. Amazing catch. This will most likely be a play rough. But, yep, it is a play rough. And now they're staying in the mirror. And honestly, swapping out would be ideal because you could try to line your Toxapex with the Azu later on. But them throwing another move creates a massive desync now in the switch timer. They do eventually catch. That's brutal, dude. You look how he overfarmed by like 3 or 4 bubbles, and the catch still happened. That's always so frustrating. But gonna go for this Hydro Pump here. Might live. I don't think so. I don't think you live a drill run, but let's see. It'll be close. No, it doesn't quite live. That's unfortunate. Might have been worth the shield just to get off that Hydro Pump to guarantee a shield or a knockout, but that's fine. Foul play. Gonna knock out, and they might still be locked for a bit. So gonna come in with Toxapex, and this Azu is still locked. I think you kind of want to preserve this energy. This makes sense too, because you guarantee the knockout or the shield, so I think I'm fine with this. Sludge Wave knocks out Azu, and then this is going to be too much work for the opposing Sableye to get through. And that is a G to the G. Very well played that game. Azu into Sandslash. Not a great matchup for Azu. It is Powder Snow, so that's better for Azu. This makes it a little bit more comfortable since they're going to need at least 3 drill runs. If they're running Shadow Claw, they probably just need 2 drill runs plus maybe like an Ice Punch. But the Powder Snows aren't going to do much. Going for the Hydro Pump. Going for the big move here. Will we see a shield come up? Yo! No, we won't. Immediate pivot into the Sableye here. Kind of makes sense. I wouldn't have minded just to see you staying with Azu, but to be fair, might be predicting that if Azu comes into Azu, whatever's in back must be weak to Azu, right? That kind of makes sense. They came in with a completely neutral answer. They're just going to sack the Sableye here. Kind of bold. Going to wait out the full switch timer. Probably come in with Sandslash. Here is Sandslash. Azu is staying in. I think you got to shield something at this point. Going to put up the first Protect Shield for Place Your Wagers. Play Rough gets shielded. Lots of energy. They do make a catch, but this is still going to do some big time damage. So you're perfectly fine with this catch. Gonna swap in Azu here. This is probably the best use you're gonna get out of it. And gets off the play rough. That's massive because now you can simply just afford to sacrifice your Azu and let it go down. Really no reason to shield it at this point, in my opinion. Either it's a bait or they have to expend a return and all that energy. Now you just get rid of this Sableye, not to take more damage. And you still have a shield for your Sandslash to hide behind to knock out the opposing Azumarill. So should be fine here. I did lose track of the energy kind of, so I guess if they have a lot of energy, it could still be sketch, but they reveal no Hydro Pump, so you're still not quite in Play Rough range. You're kind of starting to approach Play Rough range, but Drill Run connects and gonna get the knockout before a Play Rough. G to the G. This might be the last battle of the video. Sandslash versus Jelly. Positive lead. Has 2 answers to Jelly. Jelly can definitely fight back in this matchup. Definitely not like a hard counter, but I'd say favorable for Sandslash with that super effective Shadow Claw damage. They do bait the Surf. Nice play by the opponent. Gonna come through with a Drill Run here. Drill Run grabs a shield. Jelly trying to fight back and goes for a catch on the Surf, I think was the play there. And okay, so the opponent, I don't love them. Maybe I'm speaking too soon, but like this is not that comfortable for Obama because now Azu's simply going to get to 2 play roughs first, as opposed to if they just swapped right away. And now Azu's going to be able to knock out this this Obama if it wants, unless they're willing to use a shield. Ooh, overtapped there, unfortunately. Overtapped there, but it's just an Icy Wind, so maybe didn't overtap. Maybe recognized that he could do another bubble before an energy ball. Play Rough knocks out, so they seem content letting it go. They might come in with Jelly for the Hex down. Oh, comes in Sabe. Opponent is going to be able to throw. Also, I don't get this. Sorry to break up the action here, but I don't get... This is something I don't understand. This is something I don't understand that happens sometimes. And maybe any like high-level players in the chat can educate me on this. But why? So we're going to see Charjabug come in, and he swaps Sableye. Theoretically, shouldn't that take a turn? Or no? Shouldn't that take a turn? And shouldn't Chargebug throwing after 3 Volt Switches, since there's a turn differential, Sableye should only get 6 Shadow Claws. But I think we see Sableye get a 7th Shadow Claw, gets a sneak. So like a 0-turn swap here. So this kind of confuses me. 2, 3. We see Sableye get the sneak. So why is that? Let me know in the comments if that's a bug, if there's something I'm personally misunderstanding with the mechanics. Because I tend to notice that for me. I tend to be in situations where like my opponent swaps, so I try to throw like on what would have been alignment but 1 turn differential, and they still get the sneak. So let me know. Dude, what a tactical undercharge from Place Your Wagers. Undercharges, knowing that he doesn't want to give the jelly more farm than he needs to. This jelly has a ton of energy. This could still be trouble. Drill Run coming through, grabs the final shield, has the catch opportunity on Azu, still has a shield. You call the Surf Bait? He calls the Surf Bait! And I think that's going to be enough to win this game. Let's not speak too soon. Jelly, if it was at 100, is only 2 hexes away. Oh, but they went for Shadow Ball. I guess they kind of conceded there after the Surf Bait was called. All right. Wow. Fun battles as per usual from Place Your Wagers. Thank you very much for the submission, my man. Place Your Wagers always sends us fun stuff. If you guys want to send me your battles for shoutcasting, feel free to send them. Link in the description. You guys have been killing it with awesome submissions lately. I've got lots to choose from. Yeah, so anything like spicy, out of the ordinary, I love. I love people that are climbing the leaderboards and have really strong teams they feel like that want to share what they've used to climb really high in the Go Battle League. So those are kind of the 2 things I like to showcase. Really unique teams or challenges like we saw here. This is very creative. Or high, like leaderboard type elo. Sometimes I'll get like a very standard team at like lower elo. So that's usually what I won't be as inclined to showcase. If it's something like Gligar, Lantern, and I don't know, Carbink at like maybe 2000 elo. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's super cool. And I love all you playing in the Go Battle League. But you got to think about like what sticks out in terms of like what's unique and fun to showcase. So yeah, usually like the cool challenges like this, spicy picks, new picks, interesting strats with teams that are designed, or like just high elo to climb in general. All those are types of things to look out for in the submissions. And most of you guys send me those battles on the daily. Also, if you want to send me battles that are like in one clip, that's also a little bit more convenient for me. I mean, Editor Chris. And rather than downloading like 10 battles individually and then exporting that as a file, it saves me a little time. But I don't mind. Whatever you guys want to do. Just you guys sending me your battles in general, I'm grateful for, because I know that takes time on your end. So thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.